Back in the year 2012, Gag Films teamed up with Burger King to make annoying orange Burger King toys and commercials. I watched those commercials a lot on YouTube and I found them interesting. However, I am not here to talk about those toys or commercials. But I am here to tell you about a deleted short that I found that haunted me for days. It all started one day when I was having lunch at Applebee's. I really enjoyed my meal, but as I left the restaurant, I suddenly noticed a box outside. When I got to it, it was a blue box with the Burger King logo and YouTube logo on it. I was very curious of what could be inside, so I took the box home and opened it with the scissors. Inside of it was an annoying orange DVD. The cover featured orange, pear, little apple, and grapefruit in front of the Burger King sign, with the annoying orange and Burger King logos above them and the slogan, "Eat like a king," below the logos. I was pretty impressed with myself for finding a rare piece of annoying orange media. So I put the disc into my DVD player to see how the short would go. It began with the Gag Films logo, but things were off. The logo was on a black background and below the logo, there was the word nightmares in a horror font, and when the hand came to light the eye, instead of exploding, the eye grew eyes and a mouth and jump scared me as the BND of Doom roar was heard in the background. After that suspicious logo, it then cut to the menu. The menu was really nice to be looking at. It consisted of the fruits on a background of the Burger King restaurant in multicolored boxes. The options were: play short, visit burgerking.com, visit youtube.com, and visit annoyingorange.com. I then clicked on play short to see how the short would go. It began with a shot of Fruitvale County at night, and then it cut to a shot of the Burger King restaurant. However, there were no people in sight. I could only hear wind blowing and crickets chirping. Just then, after about 15 seconds, orange, pear, little apple and grapefruit walked into the shot. Orange? Why are we at this Burger King restaurant? Pear asked. Well guys, if you guys have not heard, Passion, Marshmallow, and Corey have been kidnapped and taken to this restaurant. So we have to go in there and rescue them before it's too late, Orange said. I was surprised. So Passion, Marshmallow and Corey were the ones being kidnapped in this short, I said. The four fruits then looked at the restaurant. How are we gonna get in, guys? Little Apple wondered. They all thought for a second until Grapefruit got an idea. Orange, give me a boost up, Grapefruit said. The fruits went over to the restaurant door as Grapefruit got on Orange's back and unlocked the door. Okay guys, get inside, Grapefruit said. Little Apple and Pear then went inside Burger King while Grapefruit got off of Orange's back and went inside, followed by Orange. Orange then closed the door behind him. It then cut to a shot of the interior of the Burger King restaurant again with nobody in it. Just then, the fruits began looking around for their missing friends. Passion? Orange called out. Marshy, where are you? Pear called out as well. Corey, are you here? Little Apple called out. Where are you guys? Grapefruit said. Come out wherever you are. Little Apple called out. Just then, the fruits heard evil laughter. All the fruits began to get scared. What was that? Orange wondered. Do you guys think Knife is in this restaurant? Little Apple said, starting to get scared. I doubt it, Little Apple. It has to be someone larger than that, Pear said. Just then, a sudden light came through the kitchen. The fruits then looked in the kitchen to see what was there. Sure enough, Passion, Marshmallow and Corey were there. However, they were all tied up. Oh boys, thank goodness you found us, Passion said, being glad. The fruits hushed Passion due to the silence in the restaurant. Passion, be quiet, or someone will hear us, Pear said. Oh, sorry, she said. But here's a question I want to know. How did you guys find us? Corey wondered. Well, you see, Corey, we noticed that you three have been missing for a couple of days, and we saw this strange restaurant that opened up near the kitchen, so that's why we came here to rescue you. Orange explained. Huh? That's quite genius of you. Yay, Marshmallow said. Just then, right before the fruits were about to untie their friends, a familiar figure entered the shot. Dear God, it was the Burger King, except he had blood all over his robe and he was grinning evilly. The fruits gasped in fear and shock as they saw the king. The king then began to speak to the fruits. Hello, you little fruits. What are you all doing here? He asked. Orange and Pear went over to the Burger King and confronted him. So you were the one who kidnapped our friends, huh? Orange wondered. Why would you do that anyway? Pear wondered. Well, you see, I wanted to make food out of them to serve to the humans, because we were running out of meat. So while you guys were asleep, I went to your kitchen and made some objects that looked just like them. So hopefully that explains everything. The Burger King said. The fruits were shocked. How could you? Grapefruit said. We're not gonna let you hurt them. Pear said. Oh really? The Burger King said. The Burger King then went to a nearby pedal. So here's the deal, you fruits. If you take one step, your food friends will get fried, he said. Grapefruit charged at the Burger King to attack him, but suddenly, he bonked his head on a table. "Alright, the hard way it is," the Burger King said. He lowered his foot on the pedal, which caused Passion, Marshmallow and Corey to go flying right up to the fryer in one of the boiling baskets. The fruits were all shocked. Just then, the Burger King grabbed a nearby rolling pin and threw it at the three foods as they fell right into the fryer. Passion, Marshmallow and Corey began screaming in pain as they were being fried to death. Although Passion was the loudest of them all, the three foods continued screaming until they died. The fruits were all shocked after seeing what happened. Passion, Marshmallow, Corey, Orange exclaimed. Grapefruit growled in anger. "You monster," he yelled. "Why would you do that to them?" Little Apple said, "Because I'm gonna make you guys into food, the hard way." The Burger King said, "I'm not letting that happen again." Grapefruit said. He charged at the Burger King again. But suddenly, another familiar figure appeared and tripped Grapefruit. Sweet Mother of God, it was Kid Vid, the Burger King Kids Club mascot. Except his visor had red glowing eyes and he was grinning evilly. "I don't think so," Kid Vid said. Grapefruit then rolled near a metal table. Kid Vid then with all his might grabbed the table. "Hasta la vista, Grapey," he said, referencing the Terminator. "Aw, crud," Grapefruit said as his final words. Kid Vid then slammed the table right through Grapefruit's head as Grapefruit bursted out blood. Grapefruit screamed as he was being crushed until he was fully no more. "Alright, you asked for it," Pear said. Pear ran over to the Burger King and Kid Vid to attack them as they went into a little fight. Just then, the Burger King threw Pear onto the floor as he pulled out a chainsaw. "Alrighty Greenfruit, your time is up," he said. "Oh no," Pear said. The Burger King turned on the chainsaw as he sliced Pear in half. Pear began screaming in agony as he was being sliced to death, which sounded as if his voice actor was in actual pain. Pear was now dead. "Pear," Orange yelled. "Alright, that's it, come here," Little Apple yelled. Little Apple ran over to the Burger King and Kid Vid and tried to attack them. But suddenly Kid Vid grabbed onto Little Apple and threw him outside, causing him to crash into a tree. Little Apple fell to the floor as he noticed the tree that was about to fall on him. "Oh no! Goodbye, cruel world," Little Apple whimpered. The tree fell onto Little Apple and it collapsed onto him. Little Apple let out a realistic, blood-curdling scream as he got crushed. Little Apple continued screaming until he was now dead. Orange was now the only surviving character left. "Oh God. I gotta get out of here. That king and that kid are way too powerful," Orange said. Orange began running over to the exit. But suddenly, the Burger King and Kid Vid teleported right in front of him. "What the?" Orange said. "You're not going anywhere." Kid Vid said. "You are gonna die here." "Well, not in my house," Orange yelled. Right before Orange was about to make a punch to him, Kid Vid then grabbed Orange and threw him across the kitchen. Orange then collapsed onto the floor as the Burger King and Kid Vid cornered him. "Sorry, annoying Orange, but your days of annoying people are over," the Burger King said. Orange whimpered as he doesn't want to be killed. "Please, don't hurt me. I'm just a young Orange. Don't do this." "Sorry Orange, but your time has come," Kid Vid said. "So Burger King, what should we do with him?" "Oh, I know the perfect way to deal with him," the Burger King said. It then cut to outside the restaurant where Orange was tied up on the road. The Burger King then got into his car as he was about to run over Orange. "Well Orange, do you have any last words to say before your demise?" the Burger King asked. "Yes I do," Orange said. "I hope you both go to jail for your actions." Just then, right before the Burger King's car was about to make contact with Orange, the screen cut to black. The only things I could hear were Orange's screaming and the sounds of the car running him over. But it didn't sound like his fake screaming. It sounded as if his voice actor, Dane Bodegheimer, was in actual pain. Orange continued screaming as he was dying and blood splatting was heard. Just then, Kid Vid saw what happened to Orange as he then said, "Beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." The Burger King then got out of the car. "Well, looks like our work here is done. Right Burger King?" Kid Vid asked. "Yup, it sure is Kid Vid. Now let's get out of here," the Burger King said. The Burger King and Kid Vid then got back in the car. The two then left the restaurant as they drove off into the sunset laughing evilly. It then cuts to the credits. In the background a distorted version of Friday, which is a parody of Friday by Rebecca Black, played in the background as it showed many images of what happened to the fruits after their deaths, such as Passion, Marshmallow, and Corey's fried bodies. Grapefruit's remains splattered all over the metal table. Pear's body sliced in half with a chainsaw next to him. I also noticed that there was blood coming out of Pear's eyes. Little Apple's body crushed by the tree, and Orange crushed by the car. It then cuts to black as a caption appeared on screen reading, "Animated by Adam Kennington in 2012. It then cut to the Burger King logo, and dear God was it messed up. The background was black, the Burger King logo was in a tint of red. And the slogan, "Eat like a king," was in a creepy font. And instead of a male voice saying "Eat like a king," it was instead said by a demonic voice. The screen then cut to black. I braced myself for a jump scare to appear, but thankfully there was no jump scare this time and it took me back to the menu. I then ejected the disc from my DVD player and placed it back in its case. I then smashed the DVD with a hammer and threw the remains down the garbage disposal. Later, I emailed Gag Films and Burger King about the DVD. They were appalled of what I told them. They explained that the short was created by Adam Kennington back in 2012, to promote the annoying orange kids meal toys at Burger King. And it was meant to be delivered to a woman who is a lot nicer than Adam Kennington. My mind was blown. I couldn't believe that Adam Kennington had a niece. Gag Films then reassured me that she is a lot nicer than her uncle, which really relieved me. I slept with my annoying orange plushies to reassure myself that everything would be alright. Remember everyone, if you ever find one of Adam Kennington's lost DVDs, please do not watch them. Trust me, you will regret it.